Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorables, this couldn't be a better meeting for me as an entry point. This is just the appetizer. And on behalf of my team, we appreciate each and every input that you have. Our observation so far is that we are in this mess not because we don't know the solution. We are in this mess not because we do not have the capacity in this country to sort it out. In fact, if there's one country in Africa that should not be looking outside for expertise, it is Kenya. We have it all. Mr. Chairman, I was medical officer of health in Kwale district, then now county, in 1979. At that time, as MOH, you're only one doctor in the county. I've gone back to Kwale recently, and I found out that the output of the Kwale hospital, now that it has, I think, 20 doctors, is exactly the same, if not less, as what I was doing on my own. The cesarean sections, the hernias, and everything. That having more people has not made us more productive, neither has the quality gone up. And we have allowed this sector to rot from inside. This sector is rotten inside and is deliberately done so. So the reason for our coming to talk to you is this. What we are seeing here, and I'm sparing you from this until we meet in that place, is that there is a moral imperative here for us to get this sector right. All this sector, somebody talked about the business model of running this sector. The policy framework in which we run this sector, it's not there. I'm glad you're raising the issue of the productivity of specialists. The hospital that you're mentioning that we should go and look for best practice, they don't employ specialists. They don't employ them. I've talked repeatedly about the magic of Ngong Road. That on one side of Ngong Road is Kenyatta National Hospital, with all the specialists that you ever want to have in a country, with all the equipment that's there. Fully employed, pensionable, including university professors. And then the moment you cross Ngong Road to the other side, those guys don't employ anybody. But they are extremely efficient in using the resources there. A treatise on the magic of Ngong Road is what we need to look at here. The nurse on one side of Ngong Road is very rude and rough. This same nurse doing a locum later on is the angel Gabriel. This is what we are dealing with here. And we are taking our task more seriously than any would have imagined. And we are saying that even if we are not allowed to look beyond what we are given, we are looking at it. Let somebody stop us. Because we are not dealing with an ordinary sector. It's a life and death situation. And this is, I believe, the opportunity for us to get it right. So if you can live here knowing that you, honorable members, are behind us, then we'll do it with the confidence that's required and give it. And give the stone the recommendations, even if the present government doesn't implement it. It has to be implemented for this country to be able to move to the next level. My final point, sir. We've looked at the income generation sides of this sector. This sector can generate and generates a lot of money. And it's interesting that when there is an income generation side in the Ministry of Health, there's no clarity on what it generates. This is the same thing that we have with the level 6 hospitals that can make money for this country and for this sector. This is the same thing that we have for the parastatals. We'll give you an example. The National Quality Laboratory, which is the one that's supposed to be testing all the drugs and everything that comes in here. That's an institution that should be making a minimum of 2 billion a year. Right now, it's hardly making 10 million. Because all the tests are now being taken to meds. So meds is making more money testing drugs for this country. And yet we have a whole parastatal with labs and everything else. So when we ask, who takes these things to meds? It is our own people who are taking it there because they eat with meds. And you can go on and on and on things that are there. You've just mentioned KEMSA. KEMSA gets 10% right now on all the donor-bought drugs. 10% of that, they're getting it just for storage and distribution. Nobody has given you the figure of what that is. Because if you look at the amount of money that donors, the USAID, PEPFAR and all, 10% of 45 billion is a lot of money. So why are we still funding it if it can make that and make more? So we are in this quagmire because we want to be here. And all that we need is for you people to encourage us. Let's work together and get this thing right. And for goodness sake, let's remove politics from it. Because disease knows no political party. Inefficiencies and maldiagnosis knows no political party. So if you can help us, let people know that the recommendations that we're going to make here are for the interest and posterity of this country and nothing else, then we will be comfortable in getting this thing. What we are seeing here immediately is that less than 25% of our problems require new legislation and new money. Less than 25% require new legislation or new money. Most of it can be sorted out with the current legislation, with the current budget. But somebody up there, the God Almighty, will have to get in all our hearts and all our heads to get this thing right. This problem that he said is between the county and the central. This is all created by us. There's really nothing to fight over. This problem that we have here, that health workers need to be under a commission. If we can work together, then the thing that they want can be done currently. This problem that we have here, that people cannot be transferred from one county to the other, honestly, it can be done if we all agree on the rules of the game. It is just the rules of the game, and we move forward. So we are very, very hopeful. I don't want to use the word optimistic, because you can be optimistic, but you have no hope. We are very, very hopeful that when we meet together, and we want to meet with you finally when we have everything else, that we can come out with a recommendation that nobody is going to oppose, because it is not a political issue. One final thing. We're going to be meeting SHA. We have not met them yet. But we're going to meet them because every new thing, new law, new legislation that you people pass has to ask the question of the implication to the human resource. So when you pass the 4 laws, we ask, what is the implication for human resource on that? And human resource is never taken to the priority thing. So I'm going to request that even as you focus attention to SHA is a secondary thing to human resource. Please give more attention to human resource. If we fix this and we get the integrity in place, we get accountability in place, we get the communication and the coordination in place, then SHA will work. It doesn't matter what you call it, it will work. But right now where we are in this cliff edge where we seem to be moving forward, but the wheels of the vehicle are turning in the air. They're just rolling, but we're not moving forward. And this is our quest. So, Mr. Chairman, sincere appreciation from me and my colleagues. I feel that we are speaking the same language. I believe that we have a responsibility for this country to get it right. And I can assure you that we are going to get it right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kamaroko.